Today we're going to talk about avoiding the dangers of foreclosure auctions. Very excited. Special edition of the Wholesale Daily Show today.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
And it's a
what?
sorry, go ahead. It's a 25th episode.
And it's episode 25, the centennial anniversary.
Nailed that one.
But we're going to talk about the dangers of foreclosure, auction investing, and how to avoid those dangers so you don't lose your money and never ever want to invest in real estate again.
Yeah.
Because you got excited about the foreclosure auction. You went, you bid, you bought a great deal, only to find out that there's a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth mortgage on that property that does not get erased and that you are on the hook for. We're going to talk about
Never
that.
happened to us.
I'm Dustin.
I'm Josh.
I am Sir Corey the second.
We are the Wholesale Daily Show, bringing you our Centennial 25th. What is Centennial? Centennial's 100, right?
X1V.
X1V5.
5, yeah. That's 25.
Is that actually?
No, it's actually XV.
You know your Roman numerals, hey?
Yeah, man. I went to private school, believe it or not.
Damn, that's why Corey's so much smarter than all of us. And we wonder why he's here. That's a compliment.
I know.
Kind of.
Sort of.
But maybe it would not be,
Well.
considering, like, why am I here, right?
Yeah, who really knows?
So talking about foreclosure auctions, we've been to a lot of auctions in our day. Last year we bought, what do we buy? At least 30 foreclosure auction properties.
At least 35.
At least 35.
I went through at least
Centennial
35.
amount. We bought a centennial amount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
That amount. For the podcasters, we have a beautiful diagram Corey's drawing with Roman numerals.
I can't do the 30 symbols.
Yeah.
It means something.
So what's appealing about foreclosure auctions is the fact that you can get properties at a pretty good discount, depending on obviously the condition. But so the benefit is the amount of discount you can get, and especially if there's not a lot of people bidding at the auction. Mm-hmm. However, there's a lot of dangers and landmines in the works on these, and a couple really big ones are A, you can't see inside the property. That is huge. So you're bidding on a property that you haven't seen inside, so you need to be really dialed in on your numbers, on your after repair value, and you need to be going about it in a worst case scenario. So let's share a few of the dangers that we have encountered in these foreclosure auctions and try to help folks avoid those dangers for themselves. So Josh, what's the biggest mess that we've gotten into on a foreclosure auction?
When the first thing that comes to mind isn't even necessarily the damage on the inside of the property, but it's the person inside the house. And they're such a wild card because you're not sure what they're going to do. There's been times that they took all the trash out, they took everything and threw it out on the street. And we got hit with some fines, and they trashed the house before they left. You know, we've had one person that was just crazy that showed up in the house after we had them forcefully removed. We forcefully evicted them. The sheriff came out to do that. They showed up again. And so in these scenarios, it's just eating up time. And if you're using investor funds or you're using your own funds, if you're tied up in a house for a couple months because of the tenant there, that's a wild card that you wouldn't normally face if you're dealing with conventional real estate. So the person on the inside, and that's probably something that people might not think about first. So if you can find out if the property is vacant or if it's occupied, that's going to be really helpful. In some cases, you may think it's vacant, and it should be vacant, but there could be somebody in there. So it's just really important how those first meetings go with the previous occupant, you know, getting them out, doing that cash for keys. But rehab is always going to be another thing equally as important, if not more important. And you do the best job that you can to assess what could be happening on the inside. A lot of times the exterior will reveal what's happening on the interior, but of course that's not a hard rule. That's going to happen most of the time. But sometimes you get a house where the outside looks great. For some reason, there's landscaping, and who knows why. Maybe it's the county that's doing it. Maybe the next door neighbor's doing it. But I can think of a house that we bought, and the next door neighbor was actually the one cutting the lawn. And there was a truck or a van in the front that looked in decent shape. So you look at the outside, it looks great. The roof is good. And there's a vehicle outside. The neighbor's cutting the lawn. And it looks like somebody's living there. So you think, okay, if this is like a medium rehab, if someone's living there and it's habitable, it may be 25, 30K. Only to find out no one's been in there forever, and you've got 15K worth of mold to remove. And that's probably the worst house that happened to us. It was on a street called Ripple Grove. But we bought it at such a steep discount that we were able to do that. But the way that deal actually ended up becoming okay was being creative on the mold solution, because everybody wanted to do it for like 10K was the minimum.
It's a lot of mold.
Yeah. And so we had to have some kind of creative solutions. And it was actually some girls that are cleaning ladies that did the work for us, quite a bit cheaper, like significantly cheaper. Yeah, they got in there and did the work for us. But yeah, creative solutions on the rehab there. But that's going to be the biggest wild card. So you've got to leave yourself a massive budget. And if you're going to auctions where the minimum or the selling price, people bid up the price is too high, then you're going to have to find another source of your houses. Maybe like cold calling. And if you don't have a cold calling floor, I know some guys that do.
Oh, yeah. Who are they?
That would be us, Modern REI. Subtle plug. If you're looking for leads, modernrei.com.
Yeah, I mean those are some of the things that first come to mind. Is the dangers, and the title will be another one, depending on where you buy, because it's not like it's one set of rules for the entire state, and it's not even one set of rules for every state. I mean, you're gonna have different rules in the counties, and depending on where you buy, whether it's from a sheriff's sale or whether it's from auction.com, whether you're doing some kind of mortgage foreclosure. There's all kinds of different ways to buy, and so that can be a challenge too. Knowing the process, knowing what's going to get wiped and what's not going to get wiped, and tax sales would definitely be where that's the biggest danger is title.
Yeah, one of the other horror stories that we had is probably around this time last year. We saw this like big beautiful house, and our real estate agent comped it around $530,000.
Oh yeah.
With a little bit of repair done to the property. So we get all gun ho on this thing, and we go and we buy it for, what was it, $300?
Paid $290 something for
$295, I think.
$295.
$295.
Did we clean it up at all? Did we put any money into it?
Yeah.
Because I thought we were into it for
yes and no.
We tried to.
We had some bad paint job.
Because I thought we were into it for like $300.
Yeah, we had spent about $5K just in BS.
So we got into this property for $300. We're thinking, great, we'll put $50 into it and then sell it for like $530, right? So we're pretty excited. It's a pretty big deal. And then what ends up happening is apparently the real estate agent was way off on comping for us. And the other thing that happened is that the market shifted during the time that we bought it. And long story short, nobody was interested in this property. Like nobody was interested. It wasn't even really worth. We screwed up big time. We put a little too much trust in the real estate agent at the time because we were buying so many, and we got a little sloppy. And sometimes that happens. When you're doing business, you want to fail fast, fail forward, and when you really take that into effect, like we were just like a friggin' pie champion at a pie buffet, stuffing our faces. Pie champion at a pie buffet.
I'm trying to follow your analogy.
You're pie eating champion.
Yeah.
And you're at the buffet of free pies.
Okay.
You're just stuffing your face with pies because you love pies.
And that relates to us buying
houses.
Oh
yeah.
We were like that. Yeah.
We were. Yeah. Sorry, my analogy is something.
No, I think it was good. I was just it's a little slow.
I should have related it a bit better.
Fine.
So we're buying all these properties. We got a little bit sloppy, and from there we were really worried because we brought in a new realtor who said, how much did he say it was worth?
Oh, like 360.
After.
In that shape. Yeah.
But it needed like how much in repair?
We could have sold it for 360 and said it would be worth 450 after putting like 25K into it, something like that.
But the market will dictate how much a property's worth.
Yeah.
So,
like real quick on that same street, and we didn't know this at the time, but so we did end up selling it to a real estate agent's son, and there was a house down the street that this guy had like fully decked out. It had like a full entertainment system, just like to the nines, similar house, and he was trying to sell it for 360 and we couldn't get anyone to buy it. So that right there is a very good indication of our struggles with it. And so
troubles in Turtletown. We had trouble in Turtletown on this one, and what ended up happening is we couldn't even afford to like list it with a realtor because we couldn't afford to give a commission on it.
Yeah.
And Corey, what did you end up doing on that one?
We listed it on an MLS service site. So basically you pay $250. It was like a one-time fee, and then they just chuck it up on the MLS. And ended up talking with this guy, and back and forth for like a couple weeks, and he agreed to drop his commission on it because it was, I was just honest with him. I was like, hey man, we're getting poached on this deal. And so he ended up cutting his commission, and then we ended up paying a little bit more. I think we lost like 10 grand on that.
Yeah.
That was our first ever loss on a property, which wasn't too bad.
Could have been a lot worse. Because if that guy didn't buy it, like we were probably talking like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 loss.
Yeah.
Because there was no interest in it. He was the only person that was interested.
Yeah.
And it was scary times. But luckily we got out, learned our lesson on it.
So stressful.
And so when you're doing this sort of stuff, one of the things we talked about before, a benefit though that worked in our favor at these auctions, is you only needed $5,000 down to buy a property. So when you win the bid, you go and you only put down $5K, and then you have 30 days to pay the rest. So we really leverage this by putting down $5K, and then we can shop it out to investors, because it's a much different conversation to say to somebody, hey, will you give me, I need 300 grand to go to an auction. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a property. If I don't get anything, I'll give you the money back, right? Versus saying, hey, we have this property. It's worth this much. Do you want in on it? And then you can secure their interest on the title and do an agreement to secure their capital. So that really worked for us. So if you're thinking about going to some foreclosure sales, that can really help you out. And one of the things we're pretty good at is going to tax deed auctions, and we've been to hundreds of them over the years. And we also pioneered a live training trip where we take people like yourselves to tax deed auctions, and we're doing one in April in Indiana, right?
Oh, Arkansas.
In Arkansas. So if anybody wants to join us or wants information on that, just type the word auction in the comments below. Or if you're listening online, just head over to taxliencertificateschool.com and you can get more information there. So we're wanted to share with you the dangers of foreclosures. Now there's many more that we'll share as we go, but we're going to save that for tomorrow so you can be on your way with your day.
Yep.
And thanks a lot for tuning in. Oh, if you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
Hit that like button. And podcasters, we'd love to hear a review.
Yeah, we'd love to see a review. Also, fun fact about YouTube I just found out today. 75% of you who are watching this aren't subscribed to our channel.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's only like 25% of the views come from people who subscribe. So if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. It's not going to hurt you. It's just that button in the corner. It'll be great. We'll give you new stuff daily.
Daily.
And you get to see our faces.
Great. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See you.